I wonder what goes on in the Rebels writers' room, because sometimes we get scenes like this.
This sack of bantha fodder tried to buy me from that Slimo Calrissian and make me his servant.
I paid a fair price. Technically, I still own you.
And I just wonder what inspires them to use their precious seconds of screen time for that. Welcome back to Rebels Revisited. Yes, we've got another Hondo episode. It's always a good time when our favorite space pirate is around, so let's get into it. This is the Wynkahthu job revisited. This episode begins with the Ghost Crew meeting with Hondo and Azmorigan, who want their help in stealing from an abandoned Imperial transport. This job will not only be useful for the pirates, there is something in it for the Ghost Crew as well. There are some proton bombs there that are theirs for the taking, and so the chaos begins. I remember when this episode was being advertised, and I saw that Hondo was coming back, and my one wish was for some blind jokes.
Oh, now don't be blind to this amazing business opportunity. Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm interested in what you have to offer. Oh, wise one. I knew that you would see things my way. Oh, sorry again.
I wasn't disappointed. 2 minutes in, and there were already blind jokes. Even better, it was immediately after Azmorigan told Hera he still owns her. Oh, the chaos. Speaking of chaos, I think it's about time for me to roll some highlights. I can't cover an episode like this without playing some highlights.
Aha! Because we have something in our favor that the Empire does not. For we are desperate.
Estimating chance of mission success at 38.5%.
38.5%? This is your plan!
And some of the truth is better than none of the truth, which is what you used to get, so don't try and tell me that I have not grown. Now, wait! Seal the door! Ezra!
Well, I didn't know. What do you mean every man for themselves? You're a droid!
We have run out of fuel! Work out? Oh, no, this is better. Yes, because friendship is the greatest treasure.
Do you really mean that?
Mostly.
Incredible. Incredible! I love episodes like this because, you know, there are room for all kinds of stories in Star Wars, and definitely room for all kinds of stories in Rebels. The zany adventures like this one are a big part of the identity of this show to me. It just wouldn't be Rebels without stuff like this one, like Fight or Flight, Idiot's Array, Double Agent Droid, and the ones like that. They give the show levity and a sense of fun, and I think that's so integral to what this show as a full body of work tried to achieve. We have the mystical stuff and we have the serious stuff, but why can't we also put two wacky and wildly fun characters like Hondo and Azmorigan together for 20 minutes and let them loose? We can have all of those things, and that's what Rebels wanted to do. Give us all of those things. But shenanigans aren't all there is to this one. One pretty cool thing we see here is the sentry droids. They bear a striking resemblance to the Dark Troopers that were brought into canon in The Mandalorian, and that's because, if I'm not mistaken, the sentry droids were in fact inspired by the Dark Troopers from the Dark Forces video game. Fun fact. So I feel like the main thing to talk about in this episode is Ezra, which is usually the case when Hondo makes an appearance. I find that Hondo's purpose in Rebels is to serve as character building for Ezra, and that's because he's sort of a symbol for Ezra's past. Now, Ezra has grown beyond who he was when we met him in Spark of Rebellion, but one thing I love about Ezra is who he was always remains a part of him in several ways. It's like that, I'm thinking of a quote. We're all different people all through our lives, and that's okay. That's good. You've got to keep moving so long as you remember all the people you used to be. A little Doctor Who for ya. So when Ezra meets up with Hondo, a little bit of the old scoundrel comes out. It really wasn't that long ago when he was a kid on the street, conning and stealing his way through life to survive. And Hondo brings that out of him. He always has. When Ezra first met Hondo and Hondo offered to make Ezra a pirate on his crew, Ezra actually considered what it would be like to be a pirate. And Hondo symbolizes Ezra's past in that way. He embodies what Ezra could have and probably would have been had the Ghost Crew not taken him in. But even if it's not who he became, it's still a part of who he is. And Hondo always brings out another quality in Ezra, which is how he wants to trust people and see the good in them. That's gotten Ezra into trouble a few times, but it's still something I love about him. I think it's beautiful that he retains optimism and faith in humanity despite the host of experiences he's had that should have made him as jaded as someone twice his age. So he trusts Hondo. He knows that Hondo is a pirate and a con man, but he also knows that Hondo helped them in the past, so he wholeheartedly trusts him. Man. This kid. Another interesting thing about Ezra in this episode is that he's kind of annoying. Basically, Ezra got this mission set up by getting involved with Hondo, but Hera doesn't trust Ezra's judgment when he's influenced by Hondo, so she assigns Zeb to lead the mission. Real quick, I really liked getting to see Zeb in a leadership position, and I love that they took him seriously in that position. Once you put Zeb in charge, he has a really natural air of authority, and I feel like we're seeing his inner honor guard. But anyway, Ezra's mad about Zeb leading. He thinks that he should lead the mission since he made it happen, and honestly, his uncooperative attitude regarding this is kind of frustrating, because there's something prideful about it. He won't listen to Hera's valid concern, he wants to be the one in charge, and it's kind of immature of him. But that's good stuff. Ezra is only 17, and he's in a position that is just not natural for a 17-year-old. He's serving in the military, basically. He was given rank, and he's 17. Ezra is in a funky place in Season 3. I often think of this season as growing pains, and I want to talk about Ezra in these terms. When I look at Ezra in this episode, and when I think about him in this season, I think that he's growing into maturity. He has all this new responsibility as a rebel, and physically he looks like he's matured, and all of these external things suggest maturity, but he has to grow into it. Internally, he's not there yet. It's like he's standing in shoes that are too big for him, you know? And that's tough to navigate. Season 3 is a transition period for Ezra. Season 3 is all about the transition between who he was in Season 1 and Season 2 and who he is in Season 4. And a major transition like that understandably means he's going to lack grace when handling some situations. And that's what I've got for this one. I always love a good Hondo appearance, and the next episode is a good one too. We've got an inside man on deck, which means we finally get to find out who Fulcrum is, so be there. Until next time, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.